Hello, I am here with my grandpa, Keith Williams, a Vietnam veteran. We will be doing an interview. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started.
Okay.
All right, my first question. Do you recall your first days in service?
Basically, yes. First days in service would have been in boot camp.
What did it feel
That's
like?
Well, it was instructional and it was physically tiring and sometimes hard, sometimes not.
All right.
We did all kinds of very strange things. We guarded garbage cans.
Yeah.
Not something everybody does.
Yeah, you're right. How did you get through it?
One day at a time. You just get up and do whatever it is that you have to do.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Where did you travel while in service? Like all of the places that you...
I have been around the world 3 times.
3 times. It's pretty good. How long were you in service?
I was in the service for 6 years, 6 months, and 8 days.
Now you just need hours and minutes.
There are some people who have been in longer.
Mm-hmm.
I was not one of them. I signed up for 4 years and did my 6.
Yeah. Do you recall the day your service ended, and where were you?
I was in San Diego, and I do recall it. I was very happy. Enough was enough, and I left.
Nicely done. What did you do in the days afterwards?
The days after my service,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go out and find a job.
Did you go back to school?
I went back to school about 3 years later.
Awesome.
And the GI Bill helped with that. We paid for some of that. That was in San Jose. We had traveled to San Jose by then.
Sweet. Did you make any close friendships in the service?
Yeah, there's several people that I do remember in the service. A couple of them I kept track of on tension.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them I ran into later just because they were in the same world and the same occupation I was. So there were people.
How long did those friendships last?
Well, that was 50 years ago. We're still friends, so quite a while.
Nice. Did you join a veterans organization?
Not really.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. What did you do as a career after the war?
After the war, I was basically an electronics engineer and an electronics technician.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever want to pick up your cell phone and take a look at some of the things that you don't like on it, I probably did that. Pick it up and see the things that you do like. I had nothing to do with that.
Oh, awesome. Did your military experience influence your thinking about war or about the military in general?
Yeah, there's 2 kinds of services. There's a peacetime service and a wartime service.
Mm-hmm.
The wartime service is a lot more serious. People do things and are allowed to do things they would never do in a peacetime service. In the peacetime service, you follow all the regs, you follow all the rules, and you prepare to go to war.
Were you in the peacetime service then?
No.
All right. Did you attend or do you currently attend any reunions? with like?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever?
Nope.
Awesome. How did your service and experience affect your life?
Well, it's both positive and negative, I guess, because there were some things that I didn't like about the service. There are some memories that I carry that I still don't like. There's some very good times, though. Not everything is all bad, not everything, and this applies to everything in life. Not all of it's good, but not all of it's bad.
Yeah.
It's always a mixture of both, and it depends on what you want to take out of it.
Would you be willing to share some of your good experiences or memories?
I enjoyed flying around the world. We went to places that some people didn't get to go to. There are some things we didn't do. Or I don't like to remember. We did a lot of pathfinding for other bombers, and we did a lot of training. And some of the things that we learned, they used later and are still using. That we developed and went into like the B-52s. They're still using some of the safety nets that we created for there. I didn't enjoy the fires.
Yeah.
And every ship I was on caught fire.
Would you name all of the ships that you were on if you can remember them?
Well, if I can remember them all. I was on the Oriskany, the Kearsarge, the Forstall, the Bonhomme Richard, the Enterprise, all aircraft
carriers.
And the Kitty Hawk was the last one.
Now, I remember previously in like the written interview we talked about like the ones that caught on fire.
They all caught on fire. Some were serious than others.
Yeah, right.
The Oriskany almost sank.
And was that the first ship that you were on?
That was actually the first ship I was on, and I enjoyed it. The others all had small fires, and that's basically, they train and do work for that. The Forstall was a very bad fire because we had bombs going off on the flight deck, and that killed some of the firefighters.
Oh.
And blew rather large holes in the floor.
I bet.
The flight deck was basically ruined for 6 months.
Would you like describe what the planes looked like, or the ships and the planes, like the carriers, like in general? Kind of like you said, like they were like cities.
Well, they're floating cities. There's 5,000 to 6,000 people on every aircraft carrier, so they have all the services you need for 6,000 people, which includes clothing stores, places to go buy shaving equipment, cigarettes, candy. You have to have barbers. We had 24-hour food service because we were flying 24 hours, so not everybody can go to food at the same time. So you have to split that out. There was, food-wise, it was normally very good. On every ship except for the Oriskany, and they lost all of our steaks. So
oh yeah.
we ate roast beef, and they always called it Oriskany steak after that.
Wow, that's really funny. I have something in here that I wanted to bring up. So I took a quote from the written interview, and you said we call it the Vietnam War. And then the Vietnamese call it the American War. Would you tell me why that is?
Well, it's really very simple. It's very straightforward. We call it the Vietnam War because we were fighting Vietnam. Well, gee whiz, Vietnam was fighting us. And they still call it the American War.
And also, you said that you were in like South Vietnam, and then you went to North Korea in a day.
In a day. Less than 24 hours. We left there one evening and were there in the morning.
That's
the next
crazy.
morning. It was, an emergency. We had to go up and basically there was enough firepower in the Sea of Japan there, which is really borders Korea also, there was enough firepower there to sink North Korea. To literally
Wow.
get rid of it.
That's crazy. Let's see. Did like, I don't really know how to like phrase this, but let's see. So in your boot camp, when guarding the garbage can,
Oh yeah.
was it just you the whole time, or?
Oh no, everybody got to do that. That's a rotating service that people get to do. The idea is that they'll ask you to do a lot of dumb things on purpose
Mhm.
so that you learn just go do what you're told to do.
Mhm. Just
Now,
go
it
do what
makes
you're
no
told to do.
sense to go guard a garbage can.
Yeah, you're right. That.
And you're not even going to keep anybody out of it. You're just going to stand there and guard it.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
There was also another quote that I took from the written interview, and you were talking about Senator John
Senator John McCain,
McCain, and he was on one of the ships or something.
he was on the Oriskany at the same time I was there. He was shot down and didn't come back from Vietnam. And wound up being a prisoner of war. And of course, Senator McCain, he's a senator now. You know, but John McCain was just a lieutenant then.
Mhm. And what does he do now? Do you know what he does now?
He's a United States Senator for the state of Arizona. And he's very ill. He has brain cancer.
Oh, that's sad. I had a question and then it just left my mind.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I did lose it. Let's see, what was it? I don't remember. All right. Well, is there anything you would like to add that we have not like covered in this interview? Is there like anything that you would want to share? Oh, I totally remember the question now, actually.
Okay.
Let's talk about your medals and like what you got them for.
Oh, well, we have medals for going to Vietnam. We have medals for national service. I have a medal for going to Korea, and we saved the Pueblo. Now, we don't like to tell people that, especially the guys that spent a year there, that I got a medal for them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but we did.
No, what was like on like the Pueblo and like what's the story behind that?
The Pueblo was a United States spy ship that was off the coast of North Korea. And as long as it was in international waters, that was completely legal for them to be there. They accidentally buried and got into North Korean waters and were taken prisoner.
Wow. And what did you do? Like, what was your job when saving the
At
ship?
that time, I was a flight engineer flying off the Oriskany, and we did everything from fixing aircraft to flying them. Particularly for radar surveillance at that time.
Yeah. So you had many jobs on like the ships.
Through the 6 years we did many things. I started out as simply an airframes mechanic, and an airframes mechanic just fixes the aircraft, the physical body of the aircraft. And then later we went into fixing the ejection seats and air conditioning. And then I got tired of flying, so we traded jobs and I went and learned computers. And in the Navy, there were very few people who were really good at electronics. And in any of the branches of the service, what you want to do is either be really bad or never really good at anything.
Yeah.
Once you get to be really good at it, then you're indispensable. And then you wind up, we wound up, I'm one of 6 people who got involuntarily extended twice.
Yeah. That's like,
I'm
that's
not the
crazy.
only one. It happened to other people also.
That's like 1 in 6 people. You were one of
Yeah.
those 6 people
Yeah.
in the United States.
Yep. There's many that get involuntarily extended once. That's part of your contract when you sign up.
Yeah.
That on the day you're due to get out, if they say, well, we need you, you're still there.
Yeah.
That's called an involuntary extension.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's got to show up in your interview too.
Yeah. The song is, yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think I have covered most things.
Okay, dokie.
So now I'm gonna go back to the ending question, which was, is there anything you would like to add that we haven't covered, or like anything you would like to say, or?
Oh, I don't know. I know that the military service is not for everybody. It is does wonders for a lot of people. I know there were a lot of kids that came out who learned how to grow up when they were in the military. And I imagine that's still true. That it's a place that people go. It's the first jobs for some people. It's the last jobs for others, that people stay on forever. It can be good. It just wasn't good for me.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for doing this with me. You're the greatest.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. I got you fooled.
All right. Say bye.
Bye.